and that for the English language students, the content teachers need help and training and support to modify their lesson plans. The recommendations, and I'm bringing all of this up because I didn't get all of this, and I want to bring it to the board and discuss it. To revise the restructuring plan, to improve teacher collaboration and prep time, include resources in curriculum and support to subgroups like the low achievers, English language students, special ed students, and train administrators on family and culture issues to better work with families and community as partners in the educational process. And they were very clear on that. And these are some of the things that had been discussed before, not in depth, but I'm glad that Kappa brought it up. My question is, in the report, they give a timeline for an action plan, and I'd just like to know what is the status of the action plan, because there were activities that were to have been going on since January, and then May, June, and July. And I was trying to get a sense of where we are with following these recommendations, because they've been here. Kappa started in 2007 while I was still here, and they have been back again. And I'm concerned because they feel that the efforts that we have taken are not working, and that whatever plan that we have started, I know Mr. Vincent bought in and he talked about the restructuring plan, that needs to be restructured. And I just would like to know what has been happening, the action plan, and where, as a board, what do we do in this situation?
But yeah, and I'm glad we all same way about the CAPA, and I want to thank you, Dr. Johnson. He provided me the CAPA, the most recent report coming out.
Right.
And in the last week meeting, I raised up the about how we can review and what kind of policy and what we do to improve in the school. And from my understanding, Dr. Johnson and the team, leadership team, now in the middle to review, and he will be back in August meeting. So hopefully we can be good in depth about this.
What Mr. Nguyen is saying, when I first got here, I read a number of reports, of which the CAPA was one of them, because I know it would look at the school. And so I've been sitting down with Mr. Vincent to go over those recommendations. He assured me that a list of those recommendations have been given to the board. I'm not sure when or what it looks like. I'm focusing on what needs to be done now. There are a number of activities being implemented to address those recommendations, and I've asked him to be prepared in August to give a report to the board as to the status in relation to that report, because the report does define the characteristics of the high school at this point. Now, excuse me if I may, because I'm not sure. Yeah. Have the rest of the board members received a copy of that document? Okay, because I want to make sure that people have it.
Well, some of us have not. I think Mr. Rodriguez has received a copy. Have you received a copy, Mr. Rodriguez?
Okay.
Probably distribute before it came to the board.
I'll make sure you receive a copy, but it is interesting reading. And as I tell them, the high school is the flagship. And that school must be potent. Must be potent. So I've been spending a great deal of time dealing with that, but I'll show you'll receive a copy of the full report. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Any other old business? New business?
Did you say news?
Yes.
Oh, just a couple of things, and I'm not quite sure whether it's considered new business, but I have some things to say, probably in my report too, before I get started. Number one, I appreciate the recognition of Jamal Alfred for the moment of silence. I talked to the family. They were extremely appreciative of what the school system has done at the loss of their son. For those in the audience who may not know, he was hit by a hit-and-run driver who has been apprehended, and unfortunately, the young 8-year-old passed away. I will be attending the funeral with the family tomorrow. I'm requesting a board meeting on the 8th of August to go through some pertinent items in relation to the operation of the school system. I don't feel that we can wait until the regular meetings, I guess the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. I put on the table close to you a document which is rarely written. Somebody stole mine. You took it.
That's why it was stolen.
I've been around a long time, 100 years at least. This is the second time I've seen this document. I would say that the most challenging department in education is the Department of Special Education. Now, others will disagree, and that's okay. I'm talking about what I think at this point. And if you disagree, that's okay, because we can agree to disagree. But if you know anything about special education and the complications inherent in implementing that, you can understand why I say what I say. I saw one of these letters 23 years ago when the state came in and looked at the special ed program in Middle Township, and they sent a similar letter. This is unique because the State Department of Education makes the following statement for those who, of course, don't have it. This correspondence is to inform you that your district has been determined to meet requirements. They don't like adjectives. With regard to implementation of special education requirements. This determination is based on the following criteria. 1, the district does not have outstanding non-compliance that has remained uncorrected for more than 1 calendar year. Secondly, the district was not identified for significant disproportionately with regard to the representation of specific racial/ethnic groups in special education for the 09-10 school year. We may disagree with that, but that's okay too. They're the ones writing the report. The district was not selected for monitoring based on a high rate of students with disabilities in separate public and private educational settings. And the district was not identified for untimely or inaccurate submission of student data regarding students with disabilities. Now, Mr. Latin, who is the Director of Special Education, came here, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago. At that time, this district was out of compliance for 7 straight years. The 2 years that she has been here, this is on the 3rd, she has turned it around to the degree that we received a letter that is considered a jewel from the State Department of Education lauding our special education program. So I just wanted to make that a public notice because this letter is rarely received by school districts, and certainly congratulate her and her staff on an excellent job. This is the State Department, no one here. I just concur. Okay. I do want to, again, thank Mr. Copeland for his recognition of student activities. I had an opportunity to talk to the band. Wherever I see kids, I go up to them and thank them for the job that they're doing. I hope you know that Pennsauken has one of the best bands in the land. I hope you know that. And so I wanted them to know that I know it, and I will be watching them. There is a play tomorrow, Ragtime. I've been to so many business meetings, I've decided I'm going to come here and enjoy myself for an evening and watch Ragtime tomorrow. The PTA, I think it was the county PTA, is that it?
No.
A zone PTA. Would you let me know when your next meeting is going to be held? I would like to come and let you know how important the PTA is, and that you certainly have our support, okay? So let me know when you meet. If the board doesn't have me, I'll come and talk to the group. All right. At this point, Mr. Snyder is here with two, I'm going to say, outstanding young people. I visited the high school a number of times in the 6 weeks I've been here, and I'll be honest with you, I am impressed with our young people. I am impressed. And yes, you're going to have those who climb the flagpole. What we have to do is pull them back down. Especially with our arms raised, you have to pull them back down, because wherever you go, you have flagpole climbers. But we have some darn good kids here, and we want to continue to recognize them. We have two young ladies here, and I'm proud of them, and I'm just getting to know them. One of them is a cheerleader, and I did have a chance to talk to 1 million cheerleaders out there, but they're going to do a good job for us. I just caution them about those high-flying young ladies that go up there and brush off the ceiling and come back down, and thank God they're caught most of the time. So, at this time, I want to introduce Miss Sydney Gross and Tina Shrem. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. I'm an old man, and I can't get everything right. Miss Sydney is the senior class president, and Miss Tina is the student body president. And note the gender. Gentlemen, wherever you are, we have to wake up, because the young ladies are taking over the world, and maybe that's okay. At least they were smart enough to vote for them, so we give them credit for that. At this time, Miss Sydney and Miss Tina would like to make a presentation to the board.
Good
Good evening.
My classmate, Tina Kim, student body president, and I, Sydney Gross, senior class president, are here today to inform you on the personalization of the auxiliary cafeteria at the high school, better known as the freshman cafeteria. In 2001, the auxiliary cafeteria opened in the high school, originally reserved for the seniors. However, wanting to maintain their dominance and not be separated from the other classes in the main cafeteria, the seniors respectfully declined. As a result, the cafeteria initially designed for the seniors was selected to be put to use by the freshmen. After a decade, we feel as though the freshmen should move back into the main cafeteria, which will beneficially mature the young teenagers. Therefore, the entire student government has decided to take the initiative to transform the freshman cafeteria into a Renaissance lounge for the diligent students of Pennsauken High School. This lounge will not only create a positive culture that rewards and recognizes achieving students, but also result in students to want to take the incentive to continue to do the right thing, both inside and outside the classroom. The design of the Renaissance Lounge will be no cost to the Board of Education, for the funds are coming from previous school fundraisers such as Homecoming, the Halloween Dance, and the Student Government and the Renaissance Foundation. Within the cafeteria, the eligible students will enjoy well-balanced lunches, partake in interactive activities with their fellow peers such as checkers, chess, and Scrabble. As it can be seen, the members of student government and Renaissance are striving to make Pennsauken High a better place. Thank you. And here's Tina Kim with a little bit more detail of the layout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Education. I'm Tina Kim, student body president. As my classmate, senior class president Sydney Gross has already stated, we're taking the initiatives to transform the current freshman cafeteria into the Renaissance Lounge.